Right guys, welcome back. Now we'll be learning how to paint the sprinkles. You used to just select the sphere and you get the materials, a new material, call it sprinkles. Let me just colour the like a chocolate colour. You can see it's affecting all of them. We want it to affect, we want to basically mix the colours up. We don't want to do it randomly. We don't want it to be exactly half and half or whatnot. So to do this, we go back to shading. I'm going to turn this back to white for now. And then, so if we press Shift A, let me type object info, send us a no. You know, this is very helpful. There's loads of different information you can see, but the one that we are looking for is the random. Hold on, let me just make an example here. Right, so now that we're zoomed in on this, I'll show you this in the random. If I just drag that into there, it has randomized the colour, but it's done it on a grey scale. And the reason for this is because the random generator is inputting values between 0 and 1. So for instance, the darker colour might be a really low value, like 0.1, and the lighter colour would be like a really high value, like 0.9. So like the white would be like 0.9. So in order for us to actually form colours rather than it all just be grey, type this Shift A with converter, with the colour ramp. We add that in there. And then we can always choose a colour. For instance, red. Not that we're going to actually use this colour. And we'll make this blue. As you can see now, we've got more of a variety of colour. But at the moment, it's like on a gradient, and we don't want it on a gradient because we're going to be using 2 to 3 colours. I want them to be just them colours. And the reason for that is because it's on linear at the moment. If we just switch that to constant, move this, we can move this little. You can see it increases and changes the amount, changes the ratio of different colours. So to change this to the colours that we want the chocolate colour. So if you just select the end of it there and you bring it all the way down. Yeah, that's quite a nice colour. We go to this blue. We want it to be like a creamy colour, so we don't want perfectly white. We want it somewhere between yellow and white. I think I'm happy with that if we move to the renderer. Yeah, happy with that. Now I was just going to leave it as cream and brown. Just adjust it to half and half. But I feel like to teach you another skill that we might find useful when colouring your own materials in the future is the metallic. If I go here, I don't want many, and I'll select a nice yellow to make a nice gold. Go right the way here, yellow. Obviously now if I turn this to a 1, it's all metallic. Go in the renderer, metallic. The reason it ain't as shiny is because of the roughness. If I turn the roughness down, as you can see, it's very, very metallic. I'm into that. and that in place. There we go, sorry about that. Let me just up the roughness a little bit for now. Yeah, so moving on. We don't want all of it to metallic, obviously. So if there's the bottom few, let's click on the colour ramp for press Control Shift D, duplicate it but still keep the link to object info. If we do that, we can tell colours need to be metallic and colours don't need to be metallic by using black and white and using the positions on the colour ramps to match it. So if I make this black, all the way black, and this can go, I make this one white, and I join that there. Obviously now you can see the gold ones are more metallic. The roughness is still affecting these, the other colours, the cream and the dark chocolate one. So we come back here, we duplicate this again, Shift Control Shift D, move it down. Now we want to invert these colours. So we want to make that black and this white. And then we link that up to the roughness. But I don't want to be that extreme. So we're going to lower this factor a little bit. Probably still a bit there, yeah. And then the same with this, we're just going to up it a tiny bit. Just a bit there. It's much better. And then we have metallic. Probably a better way to show you metallic pieces and not so metallic pieces. There we go. And then go back to layout. Just very quickly before we forget about it, I want to go to the camera, press 0, and go to activate by navigation. Remember, obviously, if you've forgotten how to do, oops, lost the camera for a second there. There we go, we're back. I'll leave it there. Pressing the wrong buttons here. Okay. Obviously, if you don't remember, to go back to fly navigation, you can press navigation, go to fly navigation, just like that. As you can see now, we are in rendering mode, and you can still see it's not quite looking very nice. This is because of the render I'm using. So if you come over to the right hand side of the screen and press the render button, you can see they're using Eevee. Eevee renders in real time, making it a lot more professional when using it for video games. Like it renders really quickly without it being choppy, but it also puts the cost of the resolution and the lighting. It's just a bit all over the place. It doesn't look very nice, but it's all right if you're trying to run it on the game engine. So instead of using Eevee, we're going to click on the drop down menu. We're going to use one called Cycles. There is Cycles. You can see it's trying to sample the images, but it's already looking a lot better. So just to show you how much better it gets, I am going to fetch the light and just bring it down along the Z axis. Then bring it in along the x-axis. Go to the render now. Oh, let's weaken the light a little bit because that's far too high. There we go into render mode. Bring that down. Move it along the y-axis. Move it along the x-axis. I leave it there. See, it's already looking far better. Shadows looking better. Shadows on the sprinkles, which if I take you back to Eevee, very difficult, very poor shadows on the sprinkles, but still not that bad. But I do recommend using cycles. It's just better, puts more effort into the rendering. Obviously, that's why it's a bit more choppy, but once it's rendered fully, it is loads better. For the time being, I'm going to press denoise because if I move the camera, see there's a lot of noise going on. If I just press this, stop happening. See, it's a lot better. But obviously, as you can see here, cycles is much better option, much better picture, but obviously at the cost of CPU time and speed. Obviously, you can use GPU settings. I do not have that supported. If you do have it supported, I do recommend using GPU settings. Much better pictures. Pressing on CPU, and it'll run a lot quicker if you use the GPU. But more than welcome to keep using the CPU. It might take a bit longer for your renders. Basically, the only reason difference between CPU and GPU will be the final render. If you use the GPU, you find yourself rendering your animation or your image within a couple of hours. With the CPU, it might take overnight, a little bit longer, maybe a weekend, depending on how long your animation is and how good your CPU is. So, of course, it's definitely the better option if you want that final perfect render. Eevee, it's alright if you need something that renders quick, but in terms of what we're trying to achieve, which is photorealistic render, we won't be using Eevee. There's something else to show you guys. Let me just get the right angle here. So move to render. So you can see with the shadows created from the sprinkles, they're quite hard. It's almost like the shadows are projected onto a hard surface. And obviously, a cake with ice in isn't quite hard. It's going to bounce light. It's going to reflect light a bit more, and it's going to land a bit more softly. So we do not want that. So if we go to sphere, we go to the material, subsurface. Well, actually, I'd like to start with the icing first. And then we go to subsurface. I set that to 1. And it is going to make it look really weird. That's because the settings are incorrect. It's set for, I can't remember what it's set for. It's set for human blood, obviously, if you've got blue blood. So I'm just going to set that water one instead. Obviously, it still looks quite funky. If you can see that. Not quite the colour that we had just, and it's because this scale is too large. So we're just going to take this down to 0.01. See how that looks? Wait for that to load. Just a little bit on the dark side. Let's try 0.005. It's much better. And as you can see, if I zoom in and let that render, the shadows are much softer. I'll turn that all the way off. See, the shadows are really thick. Turn that all the way on. See that they're much softer. Alright, I'm going to apply this to the sphere as well. Core over. And we're going to set that to 1. Set these to 1. And I think this would be even more like 0.002. Not very thick. Much better. So it's just it reflects the light a little bit, like it does, like scatters it. That's what's called subsurface scattering. Just improves how the shadows are affected on the cake. So that's the end of part 5. I think we're on to in this series. Much better. The sprinkles have got colour, and we're nearly there. Not much left to do. More about creating the scenery now and adjusting the lighting. Now that we've got the right render set up and the cake made, it's just the background fit, as I'd like to call it. So moving on into the next episode or part, should I say rather, we'll be building the layout. Just starting to create the scenery a bit, and that involves starting with creating a cake stand for this cake to sit on. If you want to get a head start on that, but I will be showing you how to make a cake stand in the next episode, next part. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next part.